What is going on, YouTubers, gamers, and hobbyists? Welcome to another episode of There Is Only Warhammer, where I've just run through the updates from the Warhammer community website, and I just look at various ones. I don't go for every single one, just some. And this time, I want to look at Codex Space Marines, your first look. Now, some of you may remember I felt the introduction of codexes this soon was not a good idea. I felt personally that as players we needed more time to get our heads around it, but I'm probably being unfair to a lot of players out there, and I'm probably basing that on my own frequency of the number of games I play, which isn't many. So I can't really comment. I've had 2 of 8th edition now, but let's have a look at this. So our first look. So they say, we did tell you that you wouldn't have to wait long for your first Codex. Codex Space Marines will be the first of the new edition, and it's our best Space Marines Codex yet, filled with all the stuff you've loved from previous editions like special characters and chapter tactics, as well as exciting new additions like advanced stratagems and new units. You'll be able to pre-order your Codex next weekend, and we've got a week of previews to tide you over until then, starting with an overview of what's inside the book. Now again, another fear I have is, if we look at, we've had some typos and things from the indexes. So my fear is that we may get some errors. I just hope they're not rushing it. Yeah, so that's my biggest fear, I suppose. That's a nice picture there. Anyway, let's get on with it. It says, this is the complete guide to your army with 104 pages of background covering the long and storied history of the Adeptus Astartes and the distinct traditions of the first founding chapters and their successors. There's also new background focused on the Primaris Marines and the Ultima founding from chapters brought back from the brink of destruction like the Crimson Fists to new heroes like the Rift Stalkers. There's detailed livery to inspire your own paint schemes, as well as a breakdown of squad and company markings from those of the more Codex compliant chapters like the Ultramarines to the unique battle iconography of the Black Templars. Let's just bring that forward. I'm presuming that's a page from it. A little too small to go through, but yeah, okay. Alright. The Codex is packed with new units too. We can't tell you about all of these yet, but we can guarantee you'll be seeing everything from Dark Imperium, our new Primaris Space Marines heroes, the Reavers, the Repulsor, and the Colossal Redemptor Dreadnought. There are also all the characters and units you know and love, including chapter-specific special characters and units that will unlock yet more avenues for army building and themed forces. Again, Space Marine players will have a very powerful and complex force at their disposal, with some truly terrifying combinations available to those who make the maximum use of Primaris and non-Primaris units. One of our favourites is combining Reavers with High Marshal Halbrecht and I don't know how you pronounce that, forgive me if I'm wrong, and Chaplain Grimaldus to create a savage assault army capable of striking the fear of the Emperor into the heart of the most obstinate heretic. All in all, there are 85 datasheets in the book. The Codex is almost the size of the Warhammer 40,000 book. Now that sounds expensive. That sounds... it sounds cool, don't get me wrong. It sounds good, but God, man, money. Of course, a Space Marine army wouldn't be a Space Marine army without the legacy of its Primarch, and these are represented in the Codex Space Marines with chapter tactics. Deep breath now. The Ultramarines, the White Scars, the Imperial Fists, the Black Templars, the Salamanders, the Raven Guard, and the Iron Hands. These have been changed a little from what you may be used to, and for the better. We've been able to make the chapter tactics very powerful and very flexible, but your army will need to be battle forged to use them. Right, okay. Previous chapter tactics generally focused around specific units and weapons like salamanders with flamers, or imperial fists with bolter armed tactical squads, but this time around they'll be benefiting every unit and every army build. The strength of the Space Marines is diversity after all. We'll be taking a look at these over the next week and what you can do with them, so keep your eyes peeled. So let's have a look at that a minute. Successor chapters. Alright, okay. Nova Marines. I don't know if I could do these justice. These schemes where they've got like half one colour and half another. I'd like to try it one day though. I would. Anyway. Moving on. These chapter tactics are backed up with a range of relics, warlord traits, psychic powers and stratagems. The stratagems are especially exciting. The Space Marines Codex has 26 new stratagems for you to play with. These allow you to customize your army even more, as well as general stratagems. There's also one for each chapter, as well as stratagems focused around specific units. Try combining Vindicators to fire a brutal linebreaker bombardment, or unleashing tremor shells from a Thunderfire cannon. Again, these are going to reward disciplined and careful list building with a lot of powerful choices and allow you to spotlight units and tactics that you like to use. With stratagems, you'll be able to build armoured columns, focus on your heroes, or muster the fight phase. These are paired with 14 warlord traits, 6 for the Space Marine army and 8 for the different chapters. Particularly shrewd readers will notice there's one more than there should be. That's because the Crimson Fists, while we're using the chapter tactics of the Imperial Fists, have their own warlord trait and relic. We haven't even got into the psychic powers yet, or tactical objectives. Whether you want to build an army from the background or create your own custom chapter and heroes, Codex Space Marines is going to be very rewarding for you. Well, what can I say? It sounds expensive, I'll be honest. Because I've got a lot of armies and was hoping, well, I am hoping to expand said armies, and it would be nice to have a codex for each army. Now that I suppose they're thinking most people just have 1 or 2 armies at best, so it's not that expensive, but for the collectors are really going to pay the price, I fear. But I suppose you just got to prioritise which ones you want. So yeah, so at least they're keeping the data sheets though in that format, it sounds like, which is super cool. And yeah, so like I say, time will tell. And yeah, so that's it, and that's obviously the cover there. So whether you're going to pre-order it or not, I mean, that's entirely up to you. But there you go. That's a pretty awesome picture. Anyway, remember, all brushes lead to war, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.